I'd like to start the public session. We have 5 speakers signed up to speak. Please keep your comments to 5 minutes and state your name and address when you come up. First person signed up is Paul Lear.
Thank you, Mayor. Paul Lear, Historic Site Manager, Fort Ontario State Historic Site. I'm here to talk about the master plan project for the Fort Ontario National Register District. The district is the largest recreational area in the city of Oswego and has not seen any significant improvements since the early 1960s. Sidewalks are crumbling or gone, roads and parking are inadequate, buildings are neglected, public restrooms are inoperable, our pool and hockey facilities are showing their age, and what limited development that has been occurring is haphazard and unplanned to some extent. Now that the National Register District includes the city buildings and property out to Schuyler Street and East 9th Street, we have an opportunity to take advantage of grants and programs to address infrastructure needs, current needs, and future needs in terms of developing the district in ways to improve the quality of life of city residents, at the same time attracting non-residents to the district to improve the economy. If successful, efforts to bring the fort and the Safe Haven Museum into the National Park Service may take years to accomplish. Meanwhile, I think that we should take the initiative to hire a consultant to conduct master planning and afterwards make some sorely needed and obvious improvements to the district in order to demonstrate our commitment to the National Park Service and the world as to what we should be done with the jewel of our city, a showcase of sports, recreational, and historical activities. I think that a consultant would obviously meet with all parties for input, but here are a few of my ideas for development of the district. First and foremost, a ramp and switchback trail to link the East Side Linear Park to the National Register District. We have great problems with tourists trying to get up from the marina, from the hotels, from the linear park. We need that connection badly. We need to redo the road system to meet the current and projected needs, not the Army's needs in 1905. A road by a school building is very dangerous right next to it. Things like that need to be considered. We need to address parking for the needs of the Little League and the other organizations on the district, public restrooms, picnic pavilions, look at things like that to improve the area for everyone. Improve the sports facilities. Sports, by the way, are part of the Army's history and use of the property. That's why they're very important at the fort for the whole former 75-acre military reservation. We need to plan walking and bicycle paths around the fort and connect them to the linear park. Remember the old road that used to go around the fort? That's what's going on in my mind. Recreational trails, but not roads. All right. Rethink building uses around the district. And another important thing, because of the great history of the property in the city, interpretive signage. History sells. It's good for the economy. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Linda DeMasi.
Hi, Linda DeMasi, 111 East Oneida Street. What I'm coming in to talk about is the variance for its resolution number 239. I love Porch Fest. I've gone to many of them. What I would like to do and see in the case of having any waivers done, we tried to set precedents early on as far as waivers, which I feel would be in the best interest of the city if we don't have roads blocked and take up overtime or taxpayers' dollars to have such fees waived. So I hope you take that into consideration, what we've done in the past with events and moving forward as far as waiving fees for events. When you get into that, then everybody comes in for that, and then it's, I'd like to see a precedence going that would be for, consistent with everybody until we have like a final, whether the rates are lowered or so on, as we talked about at the beginning of the year. So I just wanted you to take that into consideration moving forward. And that's it.
Thank you. Mary Kay Stone.
Hi, Mary Kay Stone, 121 West Seneca Street. And I just want to give kind of a personal appeal to support, anything that will provide a master plan for Fort Ontario. I am a volunteer there. I'm also on the board. And I only moved back here a couple of years ago. I kind of took Fort Ontario for granted, and maybe you do too. It's always been there. Yes, we grew up with it. We went there as children. But I was kind of staggered when I became a volunteer how many international and American people from all over the United States come there on a regular basis. We chat them up and we say, hi, how you doing? Where are you from? And what do you think of Fort Ontario? And they find it beautiful and amazing and unique. And, you know, I just want to make sure we're putting our best foot forward and not only providing access to draw up the people who don't just stumble upon it or find it on the internet, and then, you know, make it look gorgeous. All of those things that Paul said, I think, are very important, and I hope you will support anything that gets us in that direction. Thank you.
Thank you. Heath Jones?
I just wanted to pop up here really fast and thank everybody that had anything to do with the 4th of July Independence celebration that we had a week ago. DPW was amazing, the fire department was spot on, and the police department was great. These events couldn't happen without the support of every single department here, and since the folks from Fort Ontario are here as well, they worked very hard with the county to put on the bicentennial celebration that took on. So it was a great collaborative effort, and thank you all for being a part of it.
Thank you. Jeff Grimshaw?
I'm Jeff Grimshaw. I'm the chair of the Fort Ontario National Landmark Committee from Fulton, but also Oswego County, and here to lend support to the need to do the waterfront planning because of the issues around the national park possibility, and to show the greater community and show the nation when they arrive here, because we're very confident of the fact that they will arrive here in Oswego, that Oswego really cares about what Fort Ontario means to this community and safe haven. We fully support that, and all 700 people on Facebook who support that are very much involved in what happens at Fort Ontario, and we'd like to see the city as committed to seeing Fort Ontario being a national landmark as well. So thank you.
Thank you. That's it for folks signed up to speak. Would anyone else like to come up and speak? Seeing none, I will close public session, and the regular meeting starts at 7:30. Call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, please call the roll.
His Honor the Mayor.
Here.
Councillor Reynolds.
Here.
Councillor McLaughlin.
Here.
Councillor Emmons.
Here.
Councillor Walker. Councillor Gozick.
Here.
Councillor Van Buren. Councillor Cordino.
Here.
All are present, Your Honor.
I don't have anything under the mayor's report. Do any of the councilors have anything to add? Seeing none, will clerk please call resolution 234?
To approve the minutes from the Common Council meeting held June 27th, 2016.
Councilor McLaughlin, Councilor Walker. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Councillor Emmons.
Yes.
Councillor Walker.
Yes.
Councillor Gozick.
Yes.
Councillor Van Buren.
Yes.
Councillor Cordino.
Yes.
Councillor Reynolds.
Yes.
Councillor McLaughlin.
Yeah.
The resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call resolution 235.
To appoint Commissioner of Deeds.
Councilor Gozick, Councilor Emmons. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Councillor Emmons.
Yes.
Councillor Walker.
Yes.
Councillor Gozick.
Yes.
Councillor Van Buren.
Yes.
Councillor Cordino.
Yes.
Councillor Reynolds.
Yes.
Councillor McLaughlin.
Yes.
The resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call resolution 236.
To approve the use of Franklin Square Park by the Oswego Colony of the Theta Chi Fraternity in order to host a fundraising event on Saturday, October 1st, 2016.
Councilor Reynolds, Councilor Walker. Any comments? Councilor Gozick?
Yeah, I just had one question. Last week, a representative came from the fraternity
and had mentioned they were working to secure a local volunteer ambulance corps, but they hadn't, are we aware of, or had they been able to do that this time?
Not that I'm aware of.
They were in the process, and nobody was here to speak to. I just didn't know. That seemed like the only thing that was left unresolved. They said they were working on it, but they didn't have it.
I haven't heard anything.
All right.
Any other comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
The resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 237.
To approve the use of Brightbeck Park by the Oswego YMCA for fitness classes.
Counselor Gozick. Counselor Van Buren. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Abstain.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
The resolution passes 6-0-1.
Clerk, please call Resolution 238.
To approve the use of the Veterans Park for an outdoor festival to be held on Sunday, September 11th, 2016.
Counselor Reynolds, Counselor Gozick. Any comments? Counselor Emmons.
I happened to have the honor to be part of this event last year, and it was a fantastic event. And I'm very happy that they're putting this on again.
Very good. Any other comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
The resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 239.
To grant variance of the noise ordinance to Jerry Miller, event volunteer for the second annual Oswego Porch Fest to be held Sunday, September 25th, 2016.
Counselor McLaughlin, Counselor Reynolds. Any comments? Counselor Emmons.
I'll be voting no on this resolution this evening. A couple of points. I think this resolution probably should have been separated out into two separate resolutions, one for the noise ordinance and one for the fee waiver, because we are voting on both things within this resolution. Certainly supportive of the noise waiver, but I'm not supportive of the fee waiver within this resolution, and I've been pretty consistent within my objections to waiving fees. So I will have, in terms of how the resolution is structured, I will be voting no.
Counselor Walker.
He makes a good point on this. We've been trying to get our schedule down for everything, keep the fees and waivers all the same. And I believe Mr. Emmons and Mrs. Tomasi said the same thing. You know, I think we should just keep it consistent. And I would like to, if we put an amendment on this and put the fees back in, good.
Have a second?
I'd
Counselor
second
Gozick.
that as well.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes, as amended. To amend. Excuse me.
Counselor Walker.
Yes to amend.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes to amend.
Counselor Van Buren.
No to amend.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes to amend.
Counselor Reynolds.
No to amend.
Counselor McLaughlin.
No to amend.
We need to vote on the amendment. Now we need to vote on the amendment. What? The amendment would be to, Counselor Walker, what's your amendment? To add in the,
Add the fees back where they should be.
not waive the fees. Okay, on the amendment, clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes to the amended.
Counselor Walker.
Yes to the amendment.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes to the amendment.
Counselor Van Buren.
No to the amendment.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes to the amendment.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes to the amendment.
Counselor McLaughlin.
No to the amendment.
The resolution passes 5-2.
Clerk, please call Resolution 240.
To accept monetary donation from Walmart for use by the Youth Bureau.
Counselor Van Buren, Counselor McLaughlin. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
The resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 241.
To accept monetary donation from the Oswego Lions Club for use by the Youth Bureau.
Counselor Corradino, Counselor Van Buren. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
The resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 242.
To approve the execution and installation of the Springboard mural project at the Fort Tunnel.
Counselor McLaughlin, Counselor Van Buren. Any comments?
Yeah.
Counselor
Yes.
Gozick.
I would just like to say I think this is a great idea to expand the murals. I know the Youth Bureau's done artwork along the River Walk or linear parks, and I use the pool quite a bit myself personally with my son, and I think it'll be nice because going under the tunnel, it's always fun to beep the horn when you're going under the tunnel, but you know there's a lot of graffiti and it's really dark under there, so it'll kind of, I think, brighten it up a little bit and make it seem even friendlier as you're entering into the Fort Ontario area. So I'm all in favor. I think it's great.
Counselor McLaughlin.
I'm in favor of the resolution too, because it'll clean the area up, make it a little more neighborhood friendly.
Any other comments? We should clarify, this is the tunnel on E7?
Yes.
Yeah, not the tunnel on East First. Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
The resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 243.
To approve marketing proposal initiative to promote the city of Oswego.
Counselor Cordino, Counselor Emmons. Any comments? Clerk, please call Counselor Cordino.
We discussed this in detail last week in the administrative committee meeting, and I just want to reiterate that I think this is long overdue for the city of Oswego to do some self-promoting. The first project is to make a presence or have a presence at HarborFest, where over 100,000 people will be attending, and what a great venue for us to showcase the city and to promote future events like Porch Fest or Pumpkin Fest and all those other fests that we have. So I think this is only the beginning of what we can do to promote our city and to showcase it to tourists and people who are attending events here, and hopefully have them come back for other events and maybe spend a little money or even move here. So I'm going to be voting for this. Thank you.
Counselor Gozick.
Yeah, I just wanted to address some criticism I heard. I'm in favor of this resolution, but just to at least pay lip service to some of the criticism I've heard. I know the city's worked hard to promote our assets, our cultural and historical and natural assets. So I would like to see this grow, and hopefully, again, as we move forward with it, it's in its nascent stage, be able to work and network with local businesses that are trying to do this, because I think everyone's heart's in the right place, trying to promote this great city. So I'm in favor of that, and I'm also in favor of the this human element. Some people say we could just put it on Facebook or whatever, and everyone will see it. But I said there's also people that go places, and they want to interact with people. They want to see somebody there, and they want to talk to somebody, and they want to see the booth there. And I think it's a good investment, regardless of a few $1,000s, to help the city promote itself independently of other entities like the county. Not that the county doesn't do a great job, but in a singular fashion, Oswego has a lot to offer. We are the jewel of Oswego County in many respects on this whole area. A lot of people want to find a small place to come that's clean, that's friendly, with waterfront, and you don't have that. There's not a lot of little cities like Oswego. So I'm all in favor, and hopefully we'll see some dividends coming out of this in the near future.
Counselor Emmons.
The only thing I would add, and I think Councilor Gozick said this very well, we are a jewel, and I think that as a jewel, as we are and are becoming, I think we need to start standing on our own 2 feet when it comes to tourism. I appreciate what the county does. I still think there's plenty of opportunities for the city to partner with the county related to tourism, but I also think that the city needs to start taking responsibility for its own tourism efforts and its own marketing efforts. And I like the direction that we're moving in. I think the website was the first part of that. I think this is the second part, and I anticipate there being much more down the road in terms of our efforts to promote our city within and from our city itself.
Very good. Any other comments? Should note that one thing has changed since it was discussed in committee, and that's we took the money out. The money that was used to pay for somebody to man the boat has been removed, and it'll be manned from volunteer hours and efforts. Any other comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
The resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 244.
To approve the standard workday for certain positions within the City of Oswego workforce.
Counselor Gozick, Counselor Walker. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
The resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 245.
To approve the standard workday for appointed and elected officials.
Counselor McLaughlin, Counselor Walker. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
The resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 246.
To approve the new fee schedule for ice and paddle boat and kayak rentals at Wrights Landing Marina.
Counselor Reynolds, Counselor Corradino. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
The resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 247.
To confirm the 2016 assessment roll for the City of Oswego.
Counselor Reynolds, Counselor Van Buren. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
The resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 248.
To authorize properties located at 151 East 2nd Street, 147.5 West Bridge Street, and 2660 and 2664 Johnson Road to be listed with Fitzgibbons Real Estate and sold at fair market value.
Counselor Van Buren, Counselor McLaughlin. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
The resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 249.
To approve a proposal submitted by Housing Visions Consultants Incorporated for the development of the Flexo Wire site.
Counselor Reynolds, Counselor Gozick. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
The resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 250.
To authorize the mayor to enter into an agreement with Barton and Lojudas, DPC, for the design of the Emergency Slope Stabilization Highway Reconstruction of Route 48 project.
Counselor Corradino, Counselor Walker. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren,
Yes.
Counselor Cordino,
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds, Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
The resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 251.
To authorize the mayor to enter into an amended lease agreement with Oswego County Opportunities for the maintenance of the Head Start Building number 31 at Fort Ontario.
Counselor Gozick. Counselor McLaughlin. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons,
Yes.
Counselor Walker,
Yes.
Counselor Gozick,
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren,
Yes.
Counselor Cordino,
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds,
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
The resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 252.
To authorize Planning and Zoning Director to submit a grant application for the downtown area of the Route 104 Complete Streets Project.
Counselor Reynolds. Counselor Cordino. I believe one of the things that frustrated me as a counselor, and probably some of the counselors that have been here for a few years can appreciate this, is we never applied, in my mind, for enough grants. We never applied for grants strategically, and we never really worked towards a comprehensive overall vision on how we wanted the city to look and what our priorities are and what we need to work towards. So I sat down with Amy Birdsall and Justin Rudgick, and we hashed out what we thought our priorities were, what we wanted to spend the next few years focusing on. And I don't anticipate we'll get all of these grants, but when you apply for CFA funding specifically, you have to be strategic, and you have to really have your act together in order for the state to take your application seriously and to invest in your community. So I think we came up with a great list that the two departments will apply for without overlapping, without competing with each other. And I think they're very worthy projects, from the Fort Ontario Master Plan to some of the park upgrades, the handicap accessible park in Hamilton Park. I think would be a nice addition and an additional amenity. And obviously, this is unprecedented amount of focus on our waterfront. And you see some of the grants that Justin will be applying for fuel tanks, and some other things along the waterfront that will be coming down the road. So, and then the Cahill building, obviously we'd like to expedite that project as much as possible. That's going to take quite a bit of money, and I think we'd all be proud of that project, and we'd be proud to still be serving in these chairs and watch that project come to fruition and be able to go there and enjoy it. So I believe in all of these resolutions and in all the projects we have identified. And like I said, I doubt we'll be awarded every single one of them, but when you apply for a grant, and then if you're not awarded and apply for it the following year, it ranks higher right off the get-go. So we're already setting a multi-year application process in motion tonight by approving these resolutions. So I hope to have your support. Any comments from councilors? Councilor Emmons.
I think one of the challenges that I have as a counselor is just the timing in which all of these came through. I know there's a deadline of July 29th, and as a council receiving them the first week of July. Maybe I don't know that much about the grant funding process in and of itself, and I know Amy did some great work in giving some explanation on hers in terms of each and every one. It just seems, to me at least from the counselor's perspective, like we either vote on these in the affirmative or we don't move forward. I'm not sure if there's a better time frame that we can do these in, if these conversations need to be happening in March or April as opposed to seeming like we're at the deadline. If we don't approve these specific consultants, we don't get to go forward with these grant opportunities or these grant proposals. So, I would probably eventually vote yes to many of these. It just seems a little time dependent in terms of what we're being forced to, almost forcing our hands, if you will, in terms of the process. So, and this may be an anomaly. This may not be precedent. It may not be things that we do in the future in terms of this. But I'd like to have at least more time or more effort or more review or something along those lines in terms of the grant process or the grant application process.
Any other comments? Councilor Van Buren.
Just having been on the council a number of years, this is actually pretty standard. You really set the tone for the grants that you want. Just like when Justin Rudgick met with all of us, he came on board and said, what do you want to see the city produce and what do you want to see us go for in terms of grants? That's really when you set the tone. They spend that entire time putting these grants together to be competitive, to really need all of that time. I would say the major benefit that we'd see is really the change in department head. Our previous community development director, she probably wouldn't have came to us until another week or so. It'd be even less time. But I would say at this point, when they come to us, the information that we have is pretty huge for anyone to review what you get. They do it, both departments, planning and zoning and community development, really put together solid packages for us to look at and review. I'm not saying there's not room for change, but this is pretty common practice in terms of grants and how they're applied for and what they do at municipal levels. You'll see that pretty much across the board in a lot of municipalities. This is around the time that they approve grants to go out.
Councilor Walker.
Thank you. I agree with Councilor Emmons on a lot of this. And I understand what Councilor Van Buren is saying. But the way I'm looking at it, you're coming at it the 11th hour, 2 weeks away. Why couldn't we have done this in-house? That's what I'm looking at. We got a lot of good employees here that can do this, work together, and we could have done it in-house. And I still believe it could be done in-house. And I'm not going to support it because I really think it should be done in-house. And that's the way I'm looking at it.
Councilor Emmons.
I think that the challenge is, I agree with Councilor Walker in a way. I think it's one of those things where you question whether, is it somebody else writing the grant, or is it our own folks writing the grant by hiring consultants to help us write the grant? And there's a differentiation between hiring somebody to write the grant versus saying, well, we need to hire this consulting company to help us write the grant because of the expertise that they can bring to the grant writing process. So in this particular case, I'm not sure from a timing perspective if we have a choice, but I think that speaks to Councilor Walker's point is that do we have folks in here that can write grants, number one, and number two, if they can, are there resources that we need to also have in order for them to help them write the grants, as opposed to, well, we don't have anybody that can write grants, so we have to always hire out in terms of actually folks writing the grants for us. So I know there's not any one person out there that can write a grant for every single situation. We shouldn't have that expectation whatsoever. But there is that fine line between hiring a consultant to help us write the grant versus hiring somebody to write the grant for us. So, I agree and disagree in some respects, I guess. It's kind of.
Councilor Goes.
Yeah, I would just like to say, I know right now with the Community Development Office anyway, if I'm not mistaken, they're still looking to hire the assistant director. Hopefully we can find somebody as we fill a position like that that's going to make it so we can do more. But I understand also the technical aspect. These grants are highly competitive, and if we're going to get grants that are important, I mean, we have Paul Lear tonight here, our site director from Fort Ontario. If we're going to have this master plan in place, if you haven't noticed, I don't see a lot of people coming into creating more jobs here in Oswego County, and with the threat of a second nuclear plant closing, despite what New York State's doing to trying to keep them afloat for the time being on taxpayers' backs, I might add. We got to look at this here. This is like do or die right now, for at least for planning and zoning. I met with Amy Birdsall on Friday, our director. Where it's a $17,000 investment, and that money was already budgeted she already had that money available for these grants. The return would be like $1.35 million. We're talking like almost 100-time, multiplier here on this. So hopefully we're going to see a return on these investments. But I do agree with Councilor Walker and Emmons that it would be nice to see as much as possible done in-house. But at this point, I don't have the expertise to go through every one or the time to go through all the material. We receive in 1 week to look at this. And I think right now these are sound investments. They're in keeping with the mayor's vision to revitalize our waterfront. And when I ran last fall. One of the things I campaigned on was tapping into the waterfront so that we can spur investment, so we can bring in developers, that people are going to come in here. We just voted tonight to approve the development by Housing Visions of Flexo Wire Site. That's a hole down there, guys. Look at it. Right now it's contaminated. The waterfront looks like heck as you go down there. We all got to be on board for this, and I think these grants are the only way we're going to be able to fund these projects to pull this city out of the economic depression it's been in and revive it and see through to the vision we all want to see down the road here in the near future. So I'm 100% supportive of these grants and supporting the fees for the consultants tonight, but I would like to see in the future, hopefully, more efforts to do even more in-house.
Said. I can speak to the timing just a little bit. I would like to move these up. Next year I would expect to have them maybe a few weeks earlier. Some of it does depend on the state budget, which is adopted April 1st, so we do rely on that a little bit. But we spent a lot of time, a solid 3 weeks on the DRI, which obviously backed us up a little bit. However, I'll say that working on the DRI, whether we win or lose, really made it easier to lay out a vision for the CFA funding. That's kind of the route we're taking here. But point well taken that a few weeks, sooner the better, really, is realistically possible. Any other comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
No.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
The resolution passes 6-1.
Clerk, please call Resolution 253.
To authorize the Planning and Zoning Director to submit a grant application for the western gateway of the Route 104 Complete Streets Project.
Counselor Reynolds, Counselor McLaughlin. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
No.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
The resolution passes 6-1.
Clerk, please call Resolution 254.
To authorize the Planning and Zoning Director to submit a grant application to develop a master plan of the Fort Ontario complex.
Clerk, Counselor McLaughlin, Counselor Van Buren. Any comments? Counselor Walker.
I have a question. I think this is a great idea, but I'm doing this voting no for one reason. Isn't the National Park Service going to be doing the same thing that we are? Go for the grant. Who would answer that?
The National Park Service.
Are they doing that too? I'm just wondering why two municipalities or whatever do that. Why should we do it and them do it?
My guess is, so a lot of the buildings around Fort Ontario are city-owned, and obviously the road that wraps around it is city-owned, and part of what we hope will be part of this plan would be allowing access from the marina that the port owns, going up that steep hill that they have a name for that I can't remember, creating a trail there so it brings water, or if you're walking along the riverfront, you can get up to the fort easier instead of going around. It's part of the plan, so I mean, I'm guessing that because it's involves so much locally owned property, that we have to take some of the responsibility. Any other comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
The resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 255.
To authorize the Planning and Zoning Director to submit a grant application to develop a public art master plan for downtown Oswego.
Counselor Reynolds, Counselor Gozick. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
The resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 256.
To authorize the Planning and Zoning Director to submit a grant application for the Hamilton Park Playground Project.
Counselor Van Buren, Counselor McLaughlin. Any comments? Counselor Van Buren?
Thanks, Your Honor. I just wanted to thank Thomas Carpenter again for his work and getting the ball rolling on this, and Amy for her work and her help with Tom to get this off the ground.
Thank you. Any other comments? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
The resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 257.
To authorize Planning and Zoning Director to submit a grant application for the Fitzhugh Park Playground Project.
Counselor McLaughlin, Counselor Van Buren. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
The resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 258.
To authorize the Community Development Director to apply for and submit an application for funding the waterfront revitalization project at Wrights Landing Marina.
Counselor Cordino, Counselor Reynolds. Any comments? Counselor Emmons.
I think it's an excellent proposal. I appreciate the Community Development Director has done in terms of, I think a lot of these are low-hanging fruit type items that are absolutely necessary for our waterfront. To have a fuel system, I don't know how you have a robust marina without a fuel system, for example. In the Oswego Beach, I'm still kind of out there on. It's a lofty goal and a wonderful idea, but all in all, very supportive of it.
Counselor Gozick.
Yeah, I just wanted to say today we were invited, or at least I was there with several other city officials, county officials, Edgewater Resources, the engineering company, that's looking at overseeing our waterfront revitalization. Their president came today, Gregory Waycamp, and actually they're having stakeholder meetings. I know they had more, and they're having some tomorrow as well. But it was really inspiring and encouraging to see that a company of this magnitude working on, Brooklyn Harbor, working on Lakeshore Drive in Chicago, just finishing up the marina in Rochester, Charlotte, that the president of the company would take the time to come to a little city like Oswego and show an interest in developing our waterfront and help us identify, what's really, what our most important and valuable resources and assets are. So I would like to say I'm all in favor of this, and I thought it was really great. If anybody invited is debating whether or not to go tomorrow, highly recommend that people have a stake in the waterfront. Make sure they get a hold of City Hall and attend tomorrow, because it's definitely worthwhile, and it's important that we all together, give our input and shape a future here that we actually have the opportunity to engage in and interact with, and it's not somebody just coming and telling us what they're going to do with it. And again, kudos to everybody involved, from the mayor to our planning and zoning director, Amy Birdsall, and Justin Rudrick, our community development director. We can definitely see some forward motion here, and I think a lot of people are seeing it. So I commend you, and I'm all in favor of this.
Any other comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
The resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 259.
To authorize the Community Development Director to apply for and submit an application for funding of the restoration and development of the Cahill Building.
Counselor Reynolds, Counselor Gozick. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker. Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
The resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 260.
To waive the rules of the Common Council to present Resolution Number 261 from the floor without committee consideration.
Counselor Emmons, Counselor Corradino. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
The resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 261.
To express support of the Common Council regarding the preservation of the environmental values and attributes of zero-emissions nuclear-powered electric generating facilities.
Counselor Walker. Counselor Emmons. This is a supportive resolution. This past Friday afternoon, the staff from the New York State Department of Public Service issued its report on a proposal containing the Governor Cuomo's Clean Energy Standard that provides a subsidy for our upstate nuclear plants to remain open and operating. The Governor has established a goal of reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 40% by the year 2030, and there's no way to accomplish that goal without all 4 upstate nuclear plants operating through their current license, approximately 2030. The DPS staff proposal accurately outlines the value that upstate nuclear generation nuclear generation provides, including $4 billion net benefit over the next 2 years, avoidance of 15.5 million tons of CO2 annually, retention of 2,600 highly qualified upstate jobs, and over $145 million in state and local tax revenue. Incorporating a zero emissions credit into the Clean Energy Standard will allow 9 Mile Point and Fitzpatrick to remain viable and provide employment to many of our residents, friends, neighbors, and family members. In supporting this resolution, we'll send a very clear signal to Governor Cuomo and the PSC that the City of Oswego believes it is worth investing in our future by supporting the policy that maintains our nuclear power plants today. City of Oswego obviously is the largest municipality in the county. I think it's important we're the first municipality to pass a supporting resolution. Any other comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
The resolution passes 7-0.
Any other business to come before the council? Counselor Walker, motion to adjourn. Counselor Van Buren. Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Emmons.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gozick.
Yes.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor Reynolds.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
The resolution passes 7-0.
Meeting adjourned.
Walking? She walked with me. I taught her. She wasn't on video. We were picking flowers.